Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video we're going to talk all about strikers. We're going to look at the different options for game week 12, who to have in the longer term. We'll look at the stats, the fixtures. Let's have a look at them. If you are new to the channel and you enjoy FPL content, then please click on that subscribe button. We've done a wildcard video then on the week. You might want to see that in case you missed it. Later on we've got a watch list differential videos coming out. In the meantime, let's talk about attackers. If you are a Vardy owner just like me, then you will be particularly interested in this video. We're going to have a look at him. Is he worth keeping, holding on? If not, what are the other alternatives? You might have jumped on him with that Lukaku injury, like a lot of other managers did. He's very highly owned at 30-odd%. So let's have a look. Jamie Vardy then, striker, playing up front for Leicester City, 10.8. He is not the cheapest striker in the game, but he's not the most expensive either. He doesn't break into that bracket of a Kane, a Ronaldo, a Lukaku, but he is in the between there, between the likes of Bamford, DCL and Antonio. So he is still classed as a premium striker. How's he actually got on so far this season then? You've got to say he's had a good season. 7 goals, 1 assist in his 11 appearances. 5.45 average points per game. That's really good. XGI is okay, 0.49. It's not anything that's going to be incredible. But as you will see, most of his contributions are coming through goals. That's where you get more points from. 2.39 shots per 90 minutes. Again, that's fine. Again, interestingly though, most of those are coming inside the penalty box and 6-yard box, which is what we want and where you want him to be. It's those fixtures that really entice us. You've got the Chelsea game at home at the moment. That's not a game where you expect to see him getting many returns. Then that run of fixtures with Watford, Southampton, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, and he even got before Christmas Everton. I mean, would you class that as a red fixture from attacking point of view? I'm not sure you would. So those fixtures look really nice. That's the reason why most of us, I think, have been holding on to him. The question is, he's blanked in the last 3. That shouldn't necessarily cloud our judgment over the whole season, which certainly asks questions, are there better assets out there? One of the things you would have to say is nailed on. He plays 90 minutes when he plays. Those fixtures do look really good. He's on pens, and what I like about him is it's pretty much one move onto another player. So he's a premium slot. You just need one transfer move to someone else. So these are all potential reasons for keeping hold of him. On the downside, he is expensive. If he's not producing the goods, he is expensive, as you'd expect. He does take up a premium slot. No return to the last 3 games. That has to be a concern. And I've put age. And one thing I think that stopped me having him at the start of the season or stopped me getting in the last couple of years is, maybe wrongly or rightly, he just isn't getting any younger. Just at some point you feel he can't keep going. At some point I'm just expecting his game to drop, his standards to go down. No question he's a terrific player and been an absolute FPL legend, winning the league with Leicester. So not casting any aspersions on his quality, but every player will come to an age where they just standards drop. I'm always fearful and expecting that to happen to Vardy. So, is there an alternative to Vardy is the question. If we don't want to hold on to him for that Chelsea game, who else could we bring in? Okay, first one up would be Cristiano Ronaldo. I've not had him at any point this season so far. I think I've probably come out on top because of that. But when I look at his fixtures coming up now, I wonder, is now the right time to jump onto him? It would, unless you've got £2 million in the bank, it would have to be a 2 transfer move to get to someone Ronaldo, because he does cost more. But look at those fixtures. Wow. Watford away, when you saw what Liverpool have done to them. Chelsea away, yeah, you expect that to be quite a tight game, but it's Cristiano Ronaldo, he can score against anyone. Arsenal at home. Then you've got Palace, Norwich, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley. I don't think you could ask for a better run of fixtures than that. That just looks incredible. We know he's going to be nailed on in that Manchester United side. I don't know. Is he someone that I can afford not to have? Is almost a question with those fixtures. I just feel like I've got to bring him in somehow. Can I even afford to carry? Are they better fixtures than Leicester's? Probably not. I love the idea of holding on to Vardy in order to get that Watford game. But then, would I want to play him against Chelsea whilst Ronaldo's playing against Watford? But then obviously you got the Chelsea game after that. I just think he looks like a cracking option, Ronaldo. I'm not sure I want to go without him. For those fixtures, it just looks absolutely outstanding. Then we have Romelu Lukaku. Again, it will depend on him coming back from injury. We'll have to wait for Thomas Tuchel's press conference, which will be updated obviously next Friday now. His fixtures in the medium term look okay. Obviously got the Leicester game, which will be difficult. Man United at home, we know that Man United can be got at. You wouldn't be surprised to see Lukaku get some returns in there. Watford, West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Wolves, Villa, Brighton. You feel that when Lukaku is fit, he is going to be nailed in that side. He was struggling before, and before that, let's talk about fatigue. So maybe actually this break, this injury he's had, has almost forced him to have a bit of a rest that he needed. Up front in that Chelsea side, you just feel that if you got someone nailed like Lukaku, again, I would want him. These are two really good options. Then we have Harry Kane. His season so far can be described as being, let's say, disappointing. He is a premium asset, 12.2. He's more expensive than Lukaku. We know from last year just how devastating and how lethal he can be. We know all about his England exploits. He's just a fantastic player on his game. This season so far, he's just not hit those same heights. You've got to look at those fixtures though. Leeds, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich. Again, I don't think you could ask for a better set of fixtures. Two of those at home. That looks really tempting. And you think if Conte can get these players motivated, which you just assume and expect he will do coming in, a harmonised Tottenham team with their attacking flair could really start putting some goals away. And Kane will just be the focal point of all of that. He looks really good. My only concern is that he just hasn't hit those heights at the moment. Ronaldo, I know what I'm getting. Lukaku, to some extent, I do. I'm just not sure what style of play is Conte going to start playing. How will Kane fit into that? But a fully fit, firing, motivated Kane, I don't think it's someone that, as we know in the past, is just an FPL asset that we just need to own. Let's have a look at comparison then. If we line up all these guys' stats and talk about who would be the best option, I think this is the easiest way to do it, because so far we've talked about all of them and you all have just great potential, as we know. Kane has only scored once this season. Lukaku's got the 3 goals and 7 appearances. Ronaldo's got 4 goals and 8. Vardy tops that group really with 7 goals and 11 appearances. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. They've got 1 assist, Ronaldo, Vardy and Kane. None for Lukaku. So I'll say I don't know if it's a good thing. You'd like them to have more goal returns, obviously, but you want the bulk of their returns to be goals, obviously. XG, expected goal involvement then. Top of that list is Lukaku. So even though he hasn't particularly producing the results, and he obviously gone through a bit of a drought before he got injured, he's still got a very high expected goal involvement, as does Ronaldo. So those two have probably the most potential, you say, looking at those stats. And then you look at the shots. I think it's no surprise. We know how keen and eager Ronaldo is to have a shot. If he has a sight of goal, you know he's going to take a shot. Lukaku's up there with a sort of reasonable shots in the box ratio, the same as you expect with Kane and Vardy, but Ronaldo does stand out in terms of that. So those stats, does it make things clearer? The only thing I suppose, if the price was not an issue, you'd probably look at Vardy and think, yeah, he looks really good, but you look at that goal involvement, possibly Ronaldo, but he is the most expensive of all those assets. He would be the hardest to get to. So, I don't know, it may not be an option for you. If not, let's have a look at perhaps some other options as well. 2 other options for you that would certainly allow you, therefore, to plough some of that extra money into your midfield, even in defence. I think if I came away from a Vardy and possibly went down to someone like a Jimenez or a Jesus, then that could possibly fund a move to go from Livramento or Trent if I wanted it. Or again, just upgrade one of my midfielders to a Bernardo or a Gundogan. But the options, Jimenez, 7.7, would certainly release some money. He's got 2 goals, 3 assists. His XGI is decent, 0.47. He plays, when he's fit, he plays for Wolves. He's absolutely their focal point. On pens as well, 2.3 shots. There's nothing wrong with that. He just is their main man. Those fixtures, though, I don't know. I think if I was to bring him in, I would, after the West Ham game, possibly. You look at that Norwich and Burnley, 2 games to target, but I feel like I'll be booking a transfer in after that, because I don't think I'd want to hold him for Liverpool, Man City, Brighton, Chelsea. That looks like a horrible run of fixtures. So I'll be bringing him for a 2-game hit. That puts me off. I expect there to be other things that I'd need to do in my side that I don't want to be booking in a striker having to come out as well. And I certainly wouldn't want to think about wildcarding after the Arsenal game. I'd like to be more flexible. So Jimenez, for me, possibly, he releases a lot of funds. I'm not convinced, other than that, if I got the luxury of that 2-game hit, Norwich and Burnley, I'm not sure I could go for him. Jesus, again, at 10 appearances this season, he's just been playing so regularly and getting so many minutes for Manchester City. 8.7, he's still saving money from that Vardy move. 2 goals, 5 assists, 0.58 is XGI. Since he's moved out wide, he is producing quite a few assists. 2.32 shots, he's still getting shots away in the box. And those fixtures look fantastic. Everton, West Ham, Villa, and then you've got Watford, Wolves, Leeds, Newcastle, Leicester, Brentford. I mean, we know anyway that Man City can be just so potent against anyone. He can return against absolutely anyone. But coupled with those green fixtures, he looks tempting. Perhaps after the Villa game, you would think you could target Everton at home, absolutely. So he looks a really nice option. We come full circle to that Vardy question at the start. Do you keep him if you got him or not? I'm certainly not making any moves until I've heard the press conferences. A lot for me will depend on Lukaku. For me, I've got Havertz in my side, so Lukaku's return would make me have to take Havertz out. That might give me the funds to go to a Smith Rowe and then increase a Vardy to Ronaldo. I think if I had the option and a choice, I would definitely move on to Ronaldo. Even Kane's fixtures look good, but I don't know if I'll be trustworthy of that Tottenham side just yet. But on the other coin, you know what? There's a phrase, it's just being patient is also key in FPL. Hasn't returned in 3 games. You know the moment you're going to get rid of him, there's always that threat that he's going to do it. But Chelsea in the next game, you somehow feel you know that's going to be a difficult one for him. But hold him for the moment, guys. I would suggest wait for those press conferences. Let's see what the other options there are. But Vardy holding him, it wouldn't rule it out. But if you can get to Ronaldo, I certainly think that's going to be the move to make. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, if you enjoy FPL content. Check out the wildcard video as well. And the differentials will be coming out with the team selection, the watch list as well. In the meantime, take care. Speak to you soon.